The void between star systems held secrets beyond human comprehension, and on this particular day, those secrets took the shape of the Lumina Collective's primary scout vessel. Sleek and impossibly symmetrical, the ship cut through space like a crystalline blade, its surface shifting with intricate patterns that defied traditional understanding of metallurgy and design. Commander Zara stood on the central observation deck, her multi-jointed fingers trailing across holographic displays that pulsed with electromagnetic data. Earth appeared as a blue-green marble against the deep darkness, seemingly insignificant compared to the thousands of worlds the Lumina had encountered during their centuries of galactic exploration. Initial scans painted a familiar picture: primitive communication networks, fractured political systems, technological capabilities that barely qualified as interplanetary. The planet's inhabitants had not even achieved stable fusion technology or developed reliable faster-than-light communication. To the Lumina, Earth represented another routine acquisition, a potential resource to be integrated into their vast collective. Preliminary analysis complete, announced the ship's central intelligence system. Holographic representations of Earth's technological infrastructure materialized around Commander Zara. Red lines connected communication networks, blue indicators marked potential military installations, and green nodes represented energy production centers. It was a map the Lumina had seen countless times before, a template for successful planetary integration. Deep within the ship's quantum computing core, complex algorithms processed every available piece of information about the planet. Economic models predicted complete submission within 3 standard galactic cycles. Military projections suggested minimal resistance. Cultural integration protocols were already being formulated, ready to be implemented the moment the first landing parties touched down. What the Lumina did not understand, could not understand, was the fundamental nature of human potential. In a small research facility outside Seoul, Dr. Elena Martinez reviewed the latest quantum entanglement communication prototype. Her team had been working for months on a breakthrough that could revolutionize long-distance communication. Nearby, a group of graduate students debugged an adaptive artificial intelligence system designed to learn and respond to complex environmental changes. Thousands of kilometers away, in a Silicon Valley startup, engineers were developing neural interface technologies that could potentially link human consciousness with advanced computing systems. Their work seemed like a mere academic exercise, but it represented something the Lumina could not comprehend: pure, unbridled innovation, driven by curiosity rather than systematic progression. The scout vessel continued its silent approach, its sensors probing Earth's defenses. Standard invasion protocols were being transmitted to the main fleet. Preparation sequences initiated. Resource allocation algorithms calculated. Everything was proceeding exactly as predicted by millions of previous planetary acquisitions. Yet something felt different. Commander Zara couldn't explain the subtle sense of unease that crept through her neural pathways. Her species had conquered civilizations across multiple galactic sectors. They had integrated thousands of worlds into their collective, each following a predictable pattern of resistance and eventual submission. But something about this blue planet felt unusual. The ship's advanced scanning systems continued to collect data. They mapped communication networks, identified potential leadership structures, and calculated resource distributions. To the Lumina, Earth appeared as nothing more than another potential addition to their expanding galactic network. If they had been capable of true emotion, they might have felt a sense of anticipation. If they understood the concept of underestimation, they would have recognized the grave mistake they were about to make. Earth waited, its billions of inhabitants completely unaware of the approaching transformation. Cities pulsed with energy. Research laboratories hummed with potential. Communities continued their daily rhythms, unaware that their very existence was about to be challenged in ways no one could predict. The Lumina Collective's scout vessel moved closer, its crystalline hull reflecting starlight. Invasion protocols were locked in place. First contact was imminent. Humanity's greatest adventure was about to begin. The first wave of Lumina energy pulses struck with calculated precision. Massive electromagnetic bursts targeted critical infrastructure, power grids, communication networks, and military installations. In any previous conquest, such an attack would have immediately crippled a developing civilization, leaving them vulnerable and disoriented. Earth responded differently. In San Francisco, a group of network engineers watched the initial attack with a mixture of professional curiosity and rapid-fire problem-solving. Within minutes of the first energy pulse, they began rerouting communication systems through a decentralized network of satellites, mobile towers, and experimental quantum communication nodes. What should have been a devastating communications blackout became a challenge to be solved. "We're losing primary connectivity in the West Coast grid," called out Marcus Chen, lead engineer at a cutting-edge technology research center. His fingers flew across multiple holographic interfaces, each representing a different communication network. Switching to backup mesh networks. Initiating emergency protocols. The Lumina invasion force watched in growing confusion as their carefully planned attack began to unravel. Their sensors had predicted complete communication failure within moments of the initial strike. Instead, human networks seemed to be adapting, shifting, reforming faster than the invaders could track. In military bases around the world, a similar pattern emerged. Standard defense protocols gave way to improvisational strategies that defied all predictive models. A group of drone operators in Nevada quickly repurposed aerial reconnaissance units into makeshift defense platforms. Research facilities converted experimental technologies into defensive systems within hours. Commander Zara of the Lumina Collective stared at the holographic displays with increasing bewilderment. The invasion protocols that had worked perfectly on hundreds of worlds were failing spectacularly. Human responses came from unexpected sources: civilian research groups, university laboratories, even community technology centers. A small team of high school robotics students in Tokyo discovered they could jam the alien energy signatures using a modified communications array originally designed for their science fair project. In New Delhi, a group of software developers began developing adaptive algorithms that could predict and counter the alien scanning technologies. The invasion wasn't just being resisted, it was being treated like an extraordinary technical challenge. Military strategists around the world quickly recognized the unique opportunity. Instead of pure defensive maneuvers, they began collecting and sharing data about the alien technologies. International barriers dissolved as research teams from different countries began collaborating in real time, sharing insights, and developing countermeasures. "We're seeing unprecedented levels of global cooperation," reported Dr. Elena Martins during an emergency global conference. The meeting, hastily arranged through a combination of encrypted communications and experimental quantum-linked technologies, brought together experts from every continent. "The invasion is actually unifying our technological and scientific communities in ways we've never seen before." The Lumina invasion force began to realize they had made a critical miscalculation. Their long-range sensors and predictive algorithms had viewed Earth as a fragmented, primitive world. Instead, they found a global network of innovators who saw the alien attack not as a threat, but as the ultimate technical challenge. In orbit, the Lumina mothership tracked the rapidly changing situation with increasing concern. Their initial calculations suggested complete planetary submission within hours. Instead, they were watching a civilization that seemed to be growing stronger with each moment of conflict. Experimental technologies came online faster than the invaders could adapt. A research facility in Berlin developed a communication jamming system using principles of quantum entanglement. A team of ocean engineers in Brazil began developing adaptive camouflage technologies that could potentially hide entire cities from alien scanning systems. The first hours of the invasion became a testament to human creativity. Where other civilizations would have collapsed, humans were turning the attack into an opportunity for innovation. Each alien technology that was captured was immediately studied, understood, and potentially repurposed. Commander Zora's neural network began to process an uncomfortable possibility. This was not going to be a standard planetary acquisition. This was going to be something entirely different. The invasion of Earth had begun, but nothing was going according to plan. The global research response to the alien invasion transformed scientific collaboration into an unprecedented worldwide effort. Dr. Elena Martinez stood at the center of a makeshift international research hub, coordinates constantly shifting to avoid alien detection. Holographic displays surrounded her, each screen representing a different approach to understanding and countering the Lumina technology. "We're not just defending," she explained to a group of international researchers connected through a quantum communication network. "We're learning. Every piece of alien technology is a puzzle waiting to be solved." Captured alien equipment became the most valuable resource on the planet. Research facilities around the world worked in synchronized shifts, breaking down alien systems piece by molecular piece. What should have been a moment of terror became the most significant technological opportunity in human history. In a converted semiconductor factory in Shenzhen, a team of electrical engineers discovered a way to reverse engineer the alien energy transmission systems. Their breakthrough allowed them to not only block the luminous communication frequencies, but also to send false signals that could potentially mislead the invasion force. The Lumina Collective had encountered resistance before. They had strategies for dealing with technological challenges, but they had never met a species that could adapt so quickly, that could turn an invasion into a research opportunity. Military research facilities merged with university laboratories. Corporate research centers opened their most classified projects to international teams. The lines between civilian and military technology blurred completely. Every human became a potential researcher, every piece of technology a potential weapon. A group of marine biologists in Australia discovered that the alien scanning technologies had a critical weakness when encountering complex organic systems. Their research, initially focused on deep-sea ecosystem monitoring, suddenly became a crucial part of planetary defense. They developed adaptive camouflage systems that could help entire cities avoid detection. Commander Zora watched the unfolding situation with growing concern. The Lumina's invasion protocols relied on predictive modeling, on the assumption that a technologically inferior civilization would collapse under the weight of superior force. Earth was proving to be something entirely different. Their adaptation rate exceeds all known biological and technological parameters, reported the ship's central intelligence system. The holographic displays flickered with complex data streams that seemed to change faster than they could be analyzed. In a small laboratory in Buenos Aires, a team of young researchers discovered how to modify the alien energy weapons. What was designed as a weapon of destruction became a potential source of clean, unlimited energy. Each captured piece of technology was transformed, reimagined in ways the Lumina could never have predicted. Global communication networks, once fragmented, now operated with unprecedented efficiency. The invasion had done what no previous global challenge had accomplished. It had unified human scientific and technological efforts completely. Quantum communication nodes developed by a collaborative team spanning 3 continents allowed instantaneous data sharing. A researcher in Stockholm could modify a piece of technology and have those modifications tested and implemented in a facility in Cape Town within moments. The Lumina began to realize they were no longer dealing with a simple planetary invasion. They were facing a global, interconnected organism of innovation. Each attack revealed more about their own technologies than it disabled. Military strategists discovered that human improvisation was their greatest weapon. Traditional defense protocols gave way to adaptive strategies that changed moment by moment. A drone operator in Nevada could repurpose an aerial reconnaissance unit into a defensive platform faster than the alien systems could recalculate their attack vectors. Dr. Martinez's team made a breakthrough that would change everything. They discovered a way to not just block the alien scanning technologies, but to use them to create a planet-wide defensive network. Each captured piece of alien equipment became a node in a vast, adaptive defense system. The invasion was transforming before everyone's eyes. What had begun as a potential apocalyptic event was becoming a global collaborative research project. Humanity was not just resisting. They were learning, growing, expanding their understanding of technology and the universe. Commander Zara's neural network processed an uncomfortable conclusion. This was not going to be a standard planetary acquisition. This was going to be something completely unprecedented in the Lumina Collective's extensive history. The real battle for Earth had only just begun. The Lumina Collective prided themselves on understanding planetary cultures. They had developed sophisticated algorithms to analyze and predict societal behaviors across thousands of worlds. Earth would prove to be their most spectacular miscalculation. Cultural diversity became humanity's ultimate weapon of unpredictability. In Tokyo, a group of electronic musicians began experimenting with the captured alien communication frequencies. What started as an artistic exploration quickly transformed into a sophisticated communication jamming system. Their complex soundscapes created interference patterns that confused the alien scanning technologies, turning art into an unexpected form of technological warfare. A team of indigenous environmental researchers in the Amazon rainforest discovered that traditional ecological knowledge provided unique insights into countering the alien technologies. Their deep understanding of adaptive ecosystem behaviors offered novel approaches to technological defense that no conventional research facility could have imagined. Street artists in Mumbai began creating massive urban camouflage installations. What appeared to be elaborate murals were actually carefully designed adaptive camouflage systems that could modify visual and electromagnetic signatures. The luminous targeting systems became increasingly confused by these dynamic, ever-changing urban landscapes. "We're not fighting with traditional weapons," explained Dr. Elena Martins during a global strategy session. "We're fighting with our entire cultural ecosystem. Every perspective is a potential solution." In New Orleans, a group of jazz musicians developed a breakthrough in acoustic communication technologies. Their understanding of complex musical improvisation translated directly into adaptive communication systems that could rapidly change frequencies and communication patterns. The alien interceptors found themselves unable to track or understand these dynamic communication networks. Mathematical researchers in Mumbai discovered that traditional Indian mathematical concepts provided unique approaches to breaking alien encryption codes. Ancient computational methods, developed centuries ago, offered perspectives that modern algorithmic approaches had overlooked. The Lumina invasion force watched in growing bewilderment as human cultural responses defied every predictive model. Each global region responded differently, yet somehow worked in a complex, interconnected manner that seemed almost organic. A group of Aboriginal Australian researchers used traditional navigation and tracking techniques to develop advanced planetary defense strategies. Their deep understanding of environmental adaptation provided insights that completely escaped the alien technological perspective. Culinary experts became unexpected technological innovators. A team of chefs in Paris discovered that their understanding of complex flavor interactions could be applied to developing adaptive communication encryption systems. Their ability to balance multiple complex elements translated directly into advanced technological problem-solving. Religious scholars provided unexpected philosophical and strategic insights. Their understanding of complex human motivations and cultural resilience offered perspectives that pure technological analysis could never capture. Theological discussions about human potential became critical strategic planning sessions. The global response was anything but uniform. Each cultural group brought unique perspectives, transforming the planetary defense into a complex, adaptive ecosystem of innovation. Where the Lumina expected uniformity, they found incredible diversity. Martial arts experts in Beijing developed training programs that combined physical discipline with technological adaptation. Their understanding of movement, strategy, and personal adaptation became crucial in developing human response protocols. Community theater groups began creating elaborate performance pieces that served as communication training exercises. What appeared to be artistic expression became sophisticated communication and adaptation training for local communities. Indigenous knowledge keepers from around the world shared traditional survival strategies that proved invaluable in developing planetary defense approaches. Their deep understanding of environmental adaptation and community resilience offered perspectives that traditional military strategies had always overlooked. Commander Zara's neural network struggled to process the incoming data. The invasion was no longer a simple military operation. It had become a complex cultural interaction that defied all previous computational models. Humanity was not a single entity. It was a complex, adaptive, incredibly diverse network of cultures, each bringing unique strengths to the global challenge. The Lumina had expected a simple conquest. Instead, they found themselves facing a planetary organism more complex than any they had ever encountered. The real invasion was just beginning, and nothing was going according to plan. The global research effort reached a fever pitch of innovation. What had begun as a desperate defense against alien invasion transformed into the most significant technological revolution in human history. Research facilities around the world worked in unprecedented synchronization, each breakthrough building upon the last with breathtaking speed. Dr. Elena Martinez stood at the center of a quantum communication hub, holographic displays swirling around her with complex data streams. The captured alien technologies were no longer just objects of study. They were keys to unlocking humanity's next evolutionary step in technological development. A breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A small research team in Cape Town, working with quantum computing principles and insights from traditional African mathematical concepts, developed a communication system that could predict and manipulate the alien scanning technologies. Their approach combined cutting-edge quantum mechanics with deep cultural mathematical traditions that had been preserved for generations. In a converted semiconductor factory in Shenzhen, engineers discovered how to modify the alien energy transmission systems. What were once weapons of destruction became potential sources of clean, unlimited energy. Each captured piece of technology underwent a radical transformation, reimagined through a lens of human creativity and problem-solving. The Lumina Collective's most advanced technologies became tools for human innovation. A group of marine biologists in Australia found that the alien scanning systems could be adapted to create unprecedented environmental monitoring networks. Their research, initially focused on deep-sea ecosystem tracking, now provided critical planetary defense capabilities. Quantum communication networks expanded exponentially. A researcher in Stockholm could modify a piece of technology and have those modifications tested and implemented in a facility in Cape Town within moments. The speed of human collaboration became a weapon more powerful than any physical technology. Experimental neural interface technologies, once considered fringe research, moved to the forefront of planetary defense. Researchers in Sao Paulo developed systems that could help humans interface directly with captured alien technologies, creating a symbiotic relationship between human creativity and advanced technological systems. Commander Zara of the Lumina Collective watched the unfolding situation with increasing alarm. The invasion's predictive models collapsed under the weight of human innovation. Each moment brought new technological developments that defied all previous understanding. A breakthrough in Buenos Aires revealed how to modify alien weapon systems into potential medical technologies. What was designed as a weapon of destruction became a potential cure for previously untreatable medical conditions. The human capacity to transform destructive technologies into creative solutions became their most powerful weapon. Artificial intelligence researchers developed adaptive learning systems that could rapidly integrate alien technological principles. These systems worked in ways that completely escaped the Lumina's computational understanding, where the alien technologies expected rigid, predictable responses. Human AI demonstrated incredible flexibility and creativity. The global research effort transcended traditional boundaries. Corporate research centers opened their most classified projects to international teams. Military research facilities merged with university laboratories. Every human became a potential researcher, every piece of technology a potential breakthrough. Satellite networks were rapidly modified to create a planet-wide defensive system. Communication technologies developed in rural communities in India became crucial components of a global adaptive defense network. The line between civilian and military technology disappeared completely. Researchers in Kenya developed adaptive camouflage technologies inspired by the complex color-changing mechanisms of local wildlife. Their approach combined biological understanding with advanced technological principles, creating defense systems that could rapidly adapt to changing environmental conditions. Quantum entanglement communication nodes allowed for instantaneous data sharing across the entire planet. A single breakthrough could be analyzed, modified, and implemented globally within moments. The Human Research Network operated like a single, incredibly complex organism. The Lumina's invasion protocols relied on predictive modeling and the assumption of technological superiority. Earth was proving to be something entirely different. Each captured piece of alien technology became an opportunity for innovation. Each moment of conflict, a chance for technological leap. Dr. Martinez's team made a final breakthrough that would change everything. They discovered a way to not just block the alien technologies, but to use them to create a planet-wide adaptive defense network. Each piece of alien equipment became a node in a vast, living technological ecosystem. Commander Zora's neural network processed an uncomfortable conclusion. This was not going to be a standard planetary acquisition. Humanity was not just resisting. They were transforming, growing, expanding their understanding of technology and the universe in ways the Lumina could never have predicted. The real technological revolution had only just begun. The alien invasion accomplished what no previous global challenge had managed. Humanity transformed from a collection of competing nations into a single, unified organism of survival and innovation. Political boundaries dissolved almost overnight. Emergency global councils formed, bringing together leaders from every continent, every cultural background. What had once been impossibly complex diplomatic negotiations now happened with remarkable speed and cooperation. The threat from beyond their planet had become the ultimate unifying force. In Geneva, a hastily assembled global strategy center became the nerve center of human resistance. Representatives from every corner of the world worked side by side, sharing resources, technologies, and strategic insights. A researcher from Brazil would collaborate seamlessly with a colleague from South Korea, their communication instantaneous and their purpose singular. Economic systems restructured themselves in real time. Global corporations set aside competitive interests, pooling resources and research capabilities. Manufacturing facilities across different continents began producing defensive technologies with unprecedented efficiency. Supply chains became adaptive networks capable of responding to changing planetary defense needs within hours. Dr. Elena Martinez observed the transformation with a mixture of professional fascination and personal wonder. Humanity's response to the alien invasion revealed a potential that had always existed but rarely been realized. Cultural differences became strengths, with each group bringing unique perspectives to the global defense effort. Indigenous communities played a crucial role in developing adaptive defense strategies. Traditional knowledge holders from the Amazon rainforest shared ecological adaptation techniques that proved invaluable in developing camouflage and defensive technologies. Australian Aboriginal tracking experts developed planetary monitoring systems that complemented advanced technological approaches. Educational systems worldwide were transformed overnight. Universities became critical research hubs, with students and professors working alongside military and civilian researchers. Online learning platforms allowed instant knowledge sharing across the globe. A breakthrough in a small laboratory could be analyzed, understood, and potentially implemented globally within moments. The Lumina Collective watched in growing confusion as their invasion models completely collapsed. They had anticipated finding a fractured, competitive species. Instead, they discovered a planetary network that could adapt, communicate, and innovate with incredible speed. Communication networks expanded beyond traditional technological limitations. Local community networks became crucial components of the global defense system. A neighborhood watch group in Mumbai could provide critical intelligence that would be immediately analyzed and integrated into global defense strategies. Religious institutions provided unexpected support, offering community centers, communication networks, and support systems. Places of worship became emergency research centers, communication hubs, and community support locations. The global challenge brought together people from every belief system, every cultural background. Emergency response teams developed unprecedented levels of cooperation. A medical researcher in Cape Town could instantly share critical information with first responders in Vancouver. Humanitarian aid organizations transformed their operations to support the global defense effort, creating adaptive support networks that could respond to changing planetary conditions. Agricultural systems were rapidly modified to ensure global food security. Vertical farming technologies developed in urban centers were quickly shared and implemented in rural communities around the world. Food production became a critical component of the global defense strategy. Commander Zara of the Lumina Collective found her invasion protocols becoming increasingly irrelevant. The human response defied every predictive model. What should have been a simple planetary conquest had transformed into a complex, adaptive interaction that grew more complicated with each passing moment. Local community networks became just as important as national or international research centers. A group of high school students in Kenya could develop a critical technological insight that would be immediately shared and analyzed globally. The line between professional researcher and citizen scientist disappeared completely. Transportation systems were modified to support the global defense effort. Autonomous vehicles became crucial communication and resource distribution networks. Urban planning transformed to create more adaptive, resilient community structures. The global response was anything but uniform. Each cultural group brought unique strengths to the planetary defense. What the Lumina had expected to be a simple conquest became a complex, adaptive interaction that revealed the true potential of human collaboration. Humanity was no longer a collection of competing nations. It had become a single, incredibly complex organism, adaptable, innovative, and united in a way no one could have predicted. The real invasion was just beginning, and nothing was going according to the Lumina's plan. The moment of transformation came unexpectedly. What had begun as a planetary defense became a calculated counteroffensive that would reshape galactic understanding forever. Dr. Elena Martinez stood on the bridge of the first human-modified alien vessel, its crystalline hull now adapted with Earth's most advanced technologies. Around her, a crew composed of specialists from every continent worked with unprecedented coordination. Engineers from Tokyo sat beside programmers from Sao Paulo, mathematicians from Cairo, collaborated with quantum physicists from Moscow. The captured alien technologies underwent a complete reimagining. Where the Lumina had designed systems for conquest, humans transformed them into tools of exploration, defense, and unexpected possibility. Weapon systems became advanced propulsion technologies. Communication arrays were modified into complex scientific research platforms. Global manufacturing facilities had been working around the clock. Converted factories that once produced consumer goods now created sophisticated spacecraft components. The industrial capacity that the Lumina had dismissed as primitive revealed itself to be incredibly adaptive and powerful. Commander Zara of the Lumina Collective watched in growing horror as human vessels began to move beyond Earth's orbital range. The predictive models suggested this should have been impossible. Planetary species did not transition from defense to offensive capabilities this quickly. They did not modify alien technologies with such rapid innovation. But humanity was not a typical planetary species. The first wave of human counteroffensive was nothing like a traditional military operation. It was a complex, multidimensional approach that combined technological innovation, cultural adaptation, and an almost organic approach to problem-solving. Each human vessel carried not just weapons, but research facilities, communication networks, and adaptive technologies that could respond to changing galactic conditions. Scientists became the primary strategic planners. Where traditional military thinking would have pursued direct confrontation, human strategy involved complex communication networks, technological adaptation, and an approach that saw the potential for cooperation even in conflict. A research team from Cape Town discovered how to modify the alien faster-than-light communication systems. What was once a tool of invasion became a method of unprecedented deep space communication. They could now send complex data streams across vast distances, creating a network that was both a defensive and exploratory system. The Lumina Collective's communication networks began to destabilize. Human-modified technologies introduced complex adaptive algorithms that the alien systems could not predict or counter. It was as if the very fabric of their technological infrastructure was being rewritten in real time. Spacecraft design became a collaborative global effort. A marine biologist in Australia would contribute insights about fluid dynamics. An architect from Barcelona would suggest structural innovations. A quantum physicist from India would provide computational modeling. Each vessel became a work of art, as much as a technological marvel. Military strategists quickly realized that traditional combat approaches were obsolete. The human counteroffensive was not about destruction, but about demonstration. Each interaction with the Lumina Collective became an opportunity to showcase human potential, to communicate, to potentially transform the very understanding of interstellar relationships. Humanitarian considerations remained at the forefront. The goal was not complete destruction of the Lumina Collective, but a fundamental restructuring of their approach to planetary interactions. Human vessels carried extensive communication systems, research facilities, and diplomatic potential. The modified alien technologies revealed capabilities that went far beyond simple warfare. Medical research facilities integrated into spacecraft could potentially solve complex health challenges. Environmental monitoring systems could provide unprecedented insights into galactic ecosystems. Commander Zara's neural network struggled to process the incoming data. The humans were not just defending. They were expanding, learning, transforming every piece of technology they encountered. Each moment of conflict became an opportunity for innovation. Global communication networks allowed instantaneous strategy development. A breakthrough in one research facility could be analyzed, understood, and integrated into the counter-offensive strategy within moments. The human approach to conflict was fundamentally different from any the Lumina had encountered. Indigenous knowledge keepers contributed critical insights into navigation, communication, and strategic thinking. Traditional ecological understanding became a crucial component of deep space exploration strategies. The counteroffensive was not just a technological endeavor, but a profound cultural expression. As human vessels began to move beyond the solar system, the Lumina Collective realized a fundamental truth. They had not just encountered a new species, they had discovered a new way of existing in the universe. The counter-invasion had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. The galactic landscape changed forever in the moments following humanity's unprecedented response to the Lumina invasion. What had begun as a simple planetary conquest had transformed into the most significant interstellar event in recorded history. Dr. Elena Martinez stood before the newly formed Interstellar Cooperative Council, a body that emerged from the global unity sparked by the invasion. Representatives from every continent, every cultural background, now sat together as humanity's first true galactic diplomatic team. The crystalline hall, constructed from modified alien technologies, reflected the collaborative spirit of their achievement. The Lumina Collective's leadership transmitted a warning to their entire network, a message that would be studied for generations. Earth was not to be approached, not as a conquest, not as a resource, not as anything less than a complex, adaptive civilization that defied all previous understanding of planetary development. Research facilities around the world began to process the incredible wealth of knowledge gained during the conflict. Technologies captured from the Lumina became the foundation for unprecedented scientific breakthroughs. Medical researchers discovered healing techniques that could revolutionize healthcare. Environmental scientists developed planetary monitoring systems that could predict and mitigate ecological challenges. Global communication networks that had been developed during the invasion became a permanent feature of human civilization. The emergency cooperation that had saved the planet transformed into a permanent global collaborative system. National boundaries became increasingly irrelevant as humanity looked to the stars with a unified vision. Commander Zara of the Lumina Collective submitted her final report, a document that would become legendary in galactic archives. It detailed how a seemingly primitive planetary species had not just defended themselves, but had fundamentally altered the understanding of technological and cultural evolution. The modified alien vessels became the first wave of humanity's exploratory fleet. Each ship carried not just defensive capabilities, but extensive research facilities. Scientific teams from around the world worked in perfect synchronization, their diversity becoming their greatest strength. A quantum physicist from India would collaborate seamlessly with a marine biologist from Australia, with a cultural anthropologist from Brazil providing critical contextual insights. Indigenous knowledge keepers played a crucial role in the new galactic exploration efforts. Traditional navigation techniques, ecological understanding, and complex cultural wisdom became integral to humanity's approach to space exploration. The counter-invasion had revealed that technological advancement was not just about hardware and software, but about understanding complex systemic interactions. Educational systems worldwide underwent a complete transformation. Space exploration, interstellar communication, and adaptive technologies became core components of global curriculum. Every child now understood that humanity's strength lay in its ability to collaborate, to adapt, to see potential where others saw only conflict. The economic systems that had supported the global defense effort became a new model of cooperative global development. Resources were allocated based on collaborative potential rather than competitive advantage. Technologies were shared openly, with a focus on global and potentially interstellar benefit. Medical researchers discovered that the technologies captured during the invasion could solve previously untreatable medical conditions. Adaptive communication systems developed for planetary defense found new applications in helping individuals with complex communication challenges. Every piece of technology became an opportunity for growth and understanding. The Lumina Collective's communication networks continued to be subtly influenced by human-developed adaptive algorithms. What had begun as a defensive mechanism became a method of potential future communication and understanding. The invasion had become an opportunity for unprecedented cultural and technological exchange. Global environmental monitoring systems, developed during the conflict, provided unprecedented insights into planetary and potentially interstellar ecological systems. The defensive technologies transformed into tools for understanding complex systemic interactions across vast distances. Commander Zara's final transmission became a legendary document in galactic archives. It was a warning, a recognition, and a profound respect for a species that had defied every known model of planetary development. Humanity was not just a survivor. It was a transformative force in the universe. The research facilities that had been hastily assembled during the invasion became permanent global innovation centers. Collaborative spaces where researchers from every background could work together on challenges that extended far beyond a single planet. As human vessels began to move beyond the solar system, they carried with them a fundamental understanding. The universe was not a place of conquest, but of potential connection. Every challenge was an opportunity for growth, for understanding, for collaboration. The final message from the Interstellar Cooperative Council echoed through the modified communication networks. Humanity was ready to explore, to understand, to connect. The invasion was over. The real journey was just beginning.